before we get started, can you introduce yourself and what you do?
Hi, yeah, thanks for having me. I'm Slavko, the founder of the creative and branding agency Mama Said No, and we are based in Vienna, Austria.
Nice. And what does your agency do?
We do quite a lot of a wide range of projects, from smaller ones to bigger ones. We work on a project basis with various clients, from the automotive sector to the wine and alcohol and food and beverage sector. So it's a wide range of special projects we do. We created apps in the past. We also did websites. We did brandings for clients. We did large scale campaigns for product launches and for image campaigns for bigger companies here in Austria. Exactly. I'm 39 years old, and I'm originally from Switzerland. I moved here to Vienna like some 12 or 13 years ago and fell in love with the city. And that was the reason why I opened up my shop here in Vienna. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did.
I didn't know you were from Switzerland. I thought you were from Vorarlberg for some reason.
Well, many people place me into Vorarlberg because it's the closest Bundesland, I don't know how to say in English, to Switzerland. And
Yeah.
I guess there was also one time there was a referendum that Vorarlberg wanted to join Switzerland, but they were denied.
What made you decide to open a studio?
It's I think it was always within me. It's like some people are like have this personality where they like to take on responsibility, where they like to lead people. And from early days on, I used to play a variety of sports, and in all the sports teams, I was like the team captain all the time. And I didn't put myself forward. It was just like always people were like, "Hey, why doesn't Slavko do it?" The team captain, and it was like it felt normal to be in this position. And I didn't start directly self-employed or with an own business. I was employed many years. I also did apprenticeships and worked with a couple of agencies across Europe. And I didn't like it, to be honest. It was always like having a chef, having a boss. It was not my style of working. I don't like to play by the typical rules of business. I'm not a 9 to 5 guy. This is something that bothered me a lot when I was employed. Sometimes I have my peaks from, I don't know, from noon onwards. So I don't want to start at 8 in the morning. Of course, sometimes you have projects and productions where you need to, I don't know, capture the sunset or something. So you need to start earlier. But for the most of the time, I didn't like to be told what to do. So then an opportunity presented itself. We were employed at a former employer of mine. I don't want to advertise someone else here, so I'm not going to say the name. But if you want to know, I can tell you later on. So I was there, and there were some changes happening at that time, and I had a lot of. I was in charge of a lot of new business for the company, and one and two clients, I guess. It was a brewery and an automotive client. They were like going to cut them off because they had larger clients from the same sector and they couldn't represent two brands in the same sector. So they wanted to cut these clients off, and I took this as a possibility to say, okay, I'm going to take them with me and open up Mama Said No, and here we are, existing and breathing.
Yeah.
This was like some 10 years ago or something, so quite a while ago.
Okay, but was there some kind of like a handover fee, or was it just like a mutual agreement? Both parties were happy about you taking the
Like
clients?
the agency was just fine with you taking the clients, or was there some discussion on that?
If I recollect correctly, then the other automotive brand we also won for that agency. So they were like happy for us to have won this client, and it was like 3 times the size of the client we took with us. So it wasn't going to like hurt them a lot. And on a contractual basis, we didn't have anything. So we didn't have any exclusions that we are forbidden to take clients with us. So,
Okay.
and we didn't like start right away with the clients. It was, I think, in November 2015, I had my last day, and I opened up the shop in, I don't know, April or May 2016. And they made us pitch. So also
Okay.
the automotive client made us pitch. They wanted to give us a proper contract within the European creative agency network of them. So we had to pitch against, I think that was two other agencies from Austria who we pitched against and we won. And then 1 year later, the brewery reminded themselves of us and contacted me while I was planning to go to Bali. I was at the airport with my girlfriend at that time, and I was like, "Hey, why is this person calling from this brewery? I haven't spoken to her like in a while." So and then I took the phone, I took the call, and she asked me whether we could present an image campaign for them within 2 weeks. And I was like, oh my god, it's the worst timing. I'm headed off to Bali, and I wanted to like relax a month because my girlfriend at the time always told me like, you work too much, you always think of business. And I was like, when am I going to tell her that I will be doing some work from Bali? And we found an arrangement, a good one. So I was allowed to work while they were asleep or while she was asleep. So somehow I managed. And then it was a great client at the brewery, because not many clients or not many companies from Austria would like accept this if you call them from Bali and pitch from there. We set up a video call, and I booked a conference room in a in a co-working space there. I think it was in Chengdu somewhere. And I told them, so hey, I'm right. I came just from surfing, so and now I'm pitching to you guys, and they were like, "Wow, Slavko, that's great," and I was no jealousy at all. They were just like happy that they found like a real creative agency, and the pitch went well, and we won the pitch against one of the leading agencies here in Austria, and were like granted to do this campaign, and it was it was a huge success.
That's a virtue of being self-employed, like having to work at unexpected times.
Yeah, it's a curse.
It's a curse. Yeah?
But
It's a blessing and a curse. You're right. It's like sometimes. I mean, I know the deadline is always the best inspiration. So then you have to start working and doing something even if you don't like it. But I think it's also important to have this freedom to work from wherever you want, because it just makes the work better. And if you find a client who is willing to accept that, and because I think always what I see and what I experience is there are two sides. The typical client is like a typical business. So they're not from the creative fields. They are like a business. So with them, everything is about control, hierarchy, having the people in the office and controlling them, and I don't know, filling out some sheets and some forms and whatever. So it's mostly about control. And within creativity, it's completely different. You need the freedom. You need to run free. You need to experience like joy in life and not having rules. And this is something that a lot of clients sometimes do not understand. But if you take time and explain them, then I think you can create a good relationship where they respect your urge or your need for freedom, for being a crazy sometimes, and you also respect them because sometimes they just need reassurance. They need like constant feedback from you. So it's not okay if you answer a month later. So this is not okay. We're not speaking about that, but we're speaking about, hey, maybe I'm just going for the next 5 days to Croatia. I'm working from seaside just because I'm working for your project, your client. And if you want to have it good, then please let me do that. So I don't need to work from Vienna or from the office to do good work. So
yeah, everyone has their own process, and
Yeah.
everyone knows what works best for them. We have that
Mhm.
too.
I think that's an interesting perspective, though, that clients are they're like a proper business with like their 9 to 5, and they have their rules and they have their corporate policies. And then we as creatives are often less rigid in those systems. So it is kind of interesting that we work together and then we find ways to work together and it works for everyone. Something I never really thought of in that way. So that's a really interesting point.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
think it's a question about when you started out with Mama Said No and you took the clients over with you? Do you think you would have started without any existing clients? Do you think you would have said, okay, I'm going to do this now anyways? Or was that kind of like you started because they wanted to get rid of the clients and you felt, okay, this is a good way out now?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a very good one. I think I have two answers to that. One answer is I think the urge to do something by myself and to work for myself was first, and then I thought, how can I build or set up a functioning business? And then I remembered these clients, and then we started to take like contact with them and so on. But what I'm missing is there are people who start very early with their creative careers, like with, I don't know, 14, 15, 16, especially nowadays, content creators, they're so young also, and they don't have any responsibility, you know. They're not having, they don't need to pay bills every month. They don't need to pay employees. They can just be creative to be creative on their own. And there are also some kind self-employed. I mean, they do this creativity or they follow their creativity. I don't know, maybe they build a fashion brand from their children's room or they, I don't know, record videos or whatever. So this is what I'm missing. From me, with me, it was from day one. It was always okay. There needs to be a functioning business model behind it, and money needs to come in because you have to pay all the bills, and in Austria it's quite a lot. It's almost at the point where it hurts, where you like need to give away more than half of what you earn. So this is just crazy. So I cannot understand that. So, but
No,
okay,
for
yeah,
small
it's something I
businesses,
can
it's
change
horrible.
unless we three decide to go into politics and change some theories. Maybe one
I
day
mean, don't give her ideas.
I'm already thinking about it.
we will be the most creative party in the world.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely extremely difficult.
It is difficult, especially to start out. I feel like there's just a lot of things you're hit with right at the beginning that makes it almost impossible to even get your business off the ground. And there are very few people to help you. And yeah, it's very hard.
Especially in Austria, people are always surprised because I'm always willing to help and share contacts or whatever. Most of the agencies I did this with, they were like perplexed. They were like, I don't know, why is he sharing things with us? Because in Austria, people keep the things for themselves. They're scared of losing something, and I think sharing makes it even bigger. And thinking of others is like a good thing. I don't know, to help the whole community of creative people. And I think there is room for everyone. So it's difficult, yeah, to get things starting in Austria because yeah, you need to do a lot of groundwork to start flying.
Yeah, so even with clients that you had already, it's difficult to get started. And I think most people don't have clients already signed before they get started. So yeah, it's cool to have that different perspective because we always talk about having no clients and almost no contacts in the beginning, like from that perspective. And it's nice to hear that some people already start out with clients and that there are possibilities to take clients with you depending on the company, of course, but that's such a new perspective to hear.
Yeah.
What I personally see is in all the agencies I was involved with, or most of them, there were people or creative people. They are like predestined to become self-employed. So now many of them are freelancers, and it's a thing. And what I saw is that many of these former agencies, people are usually their coworkers. They maybe a year after us, they opened up their own shop. So it's like a catalyst, or it's like an incubator for new businesses, for new creative studios and formats. Some of them have classical agencies. Some of them, I don't know, did some fashion things or whatever. But it's very interesting. And what all of they have in common is they made their network by working at bigger agencies. So get to know production studios, get to know other creative agencies, get to know clients, and clients become friends sometimes. It's not that they are always the enemy. So it's not at all. So sometimes I don't know, you go out and have a drink together, and you see you're like on the same page, and a year or two later they remember you, or you remember them, and contact them, and have like a good opening or a good start into the business field. But however, yeah, once you decide to do that, you have a lot of responsibilities. I mean, the amount of contracts we have to sign with, especially one client, an international brand, is, I don't know, how you have to double secure your all the files. You have to have a certain server infrastructure. You need to, I don't know, whatever, deliver numbers on a constant basis. So it becomes like it being self-employed somehow also loses its fascination once you are hit by all the troubles and problems you need to face. I mean, at the beginning, I
Yeah.
was head of IT, I was creative director, I was head of employment, I was even cooking the meals for the people. So
Also
Okay.
doing
yeah.
that. It's so funny because we've had 3 people come up on the podcast now since we decided to have more guests on, and everyone has had one moment in the podcast where they list all of the jobs that they do. And it's just so funny. It's such a universal experience
Yeah.
for self-employed people to have like 10 jobs and have to be
Mhm.
10 different roles, sometimes
Sometimes
daily. And
sometimes I think I have 10 different personalities. As an IT expert, you need to behave a certain way. And
yeah.
as a creative director, you need to be completely different. So it's like also for people who would to be good actors, they also could like creative people or freelancers, because they can
Yeah.
live out all their sides they have inside of them.
I always have said I feel like I would be a really good actor, but it's
Mhm.
because I'm always playing a role here. Like also when we have our calls with our corporate clients, I'm like also completely different than I am here in the office. Like we're constantly playing different roles. It's crazy.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
troubles with that.
Yeah, you find that more difficult.
I
I
find
feel
it more
like.
difficult because I don't know, my authenticity always wins. So even if I try to merge into something I'm not, I think
Yeah.
it's like always I have this issue of actually trying really hard to be someone I'm not. Because in
Yeah.
that context, I have to be a bit different than I'm.
This is a very interesting
Yeah.
point you're mentioning. We eliminated like the barrier or the frontier of people behaving in a business way at all. So what we realized is that our clients, when we come to visit them and have a presentation, most of the times it's the highlight of the day. You know, they're like all the other times, hours and minutes, they need to, I don't know, sit in boring discussions and fill out these forms and Excel sheets or whatever. And then comes this creative agency, and they want to feel you being creative. They want you to be authentically you. And this is what I wanted to do. So Mama Said No is, we also have it written on the website, in the entrance text. We're creative led, so we're not accounting led. So we don't put the figures first. We don't put the I don't know, the business people first. We put the creatives first. So if you hire Mama Said No, you are going to be visited by a lot of crazy creatives, and they like it. They It's like an escape for them as well. It's like entertainment at the end of the day. And I think the most nice compliment we've ever received was many different clients telling the same thing. You are so real, you're so authentically you when you come and present, and that's what they like about working with us. And I think it's also a way of positioning yourself, of making yourself available, and showing. But you also need to show some vulnerabilities. Also, I'm totally transparent with the clients. I tell them, "Hey, sorry, we don't have a good day today." So it's because you're a creative person, you're sensitive. Sometimes you wake up in the morning and you hate yourself, you hate the world, you hate everyone in it. So and another day you could hug like everyone 3 times and give them like a pussy or a kiss on the cheek. So like it's so different. So like and this is what I'm trying to prepare them as well. And I'm telling them sometimes if an employee of mine rubs them the wrong way, I call them afterwards and say, hey, just didn't have a good day today or whatever. So it's being authentically, and the relationship has its ups and downs, and we're trying to like consider every connection with every client as a relationship worth having.
Yeah, we always say that too. Like it's still a relationship. And it's very similar to like just your personal relationships and that
Mhm.
sometimes you're compatible, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you have good days, bad days, sometimes you have arguments and you get over it. And there's a lot of communication involved. Like it's very similar.
Yeah,
And we've also had feedback a lot that were just authentic. And I think that did get us in the
very nice.
door with a lot of clients because they just liked that.
Yeah.
But there are also clients that don't like that, which is fine. And in that case, it just doesn't work out.
Mhm.
But yeah, like you
Yeah,
said,
when
I
I
think some
first
people like that creativity and they like that bit of a chaos and it's for them, it's entertaining. And other clients, they want that like business, they want numbers, they want conversion, and they just, that's all they care about. So yeah, it's very
yeah.
different.
It's very
Mm.
different, and exactly. But I think you can only attract the right kind of clients if you like being truly yourself and honest with that. Because otherwise, people will know. They will know if you like hide behind a mask or something. And when I
Yeah.
first met you, the two of you, I was like stunned by the realness and by the honesty, authenticity. So it's really something. It's part of your brand, I think, and I think it works really fine for you too.
Yeah, we had like a really long talk that day. It was really
Yeah, that
great.
was really great. And then we're like, let's do it again, but record it, which
Basically.
is what we're doing now.
Yeah, but speaking of attracting clients, how
Mhm.
do you find new clients, or do new clients typically find you? How is that going for you?
I think there are. I mean, I can speak from our experience, but in general, there are many different ways to do that. Some people or some agencies, they choose the way you run with creative awards. So they win, and then marketing people see them, and then they are invited to some pitches or something. I never wanted to be part of this pitching culture. I don't like this at all. So I think that it's okay to like have chemistry meetings with clients and to like see if it's a cultural fit, if you can like enrich this relationship, both sides. So, and if it works, then it's something we should follow up, and like then we can speak terms. And so I was never a friend of that. Then what I like to do is two things. I think the best thing what works is word of mouth. I think it's the best what works. So I even talked to a sales guy once who told me that I don't know, it's the word of mouth is the most powerful like instrument you can have in your advertising thing. You don't necessarily need to, I don't know, need to pay people to like, I don't know, recommend you to some people, but you just be open. I'm open to people around me. I'm like, hey, we are full with two projects until I don't know, until August or whatever, and after that we have free resources, and I don't know how to fill them. Do you know someone who could like profit or benefit from our creative work? And most of the people they really want to help, and they're like, yeah, I know this one guy, he has a winery, or I don't know, or this person I heard they want to start some new business and they need someone who can advise them and guide them. So this worked best for me, just being open and telling people, hey, we have a lack of projects and resources, and somehow we want to do creative work, what we're capable of. So maybe you know someone on a personal basis. So this is one thing what works great. And what I also like to do is just from time to time we discuss brands, or we visit places where we see some cool companies. And I just try to text them. I text them. It's this thing in German. It's called cold acquisition. It's like it's a cold lead. You don't have any connections to them, but I always try to text them and write them something nice. Not these typical dear ladies and or sirs or something. So, but something nice. And I always take a time before for one email. I take maybe half an hour to an hour because I really inspect this brand. I go in it, and I look at the person I'm texting to. So to find out, just it's not like people can listen to me, you're a stalker, or you're a stalker, you know. But I just want to prepare the mail best way I can, to address them in an emotional way. And often when you look at the brand, every brand has something missing, or no one does perfect work. No brand in this world. You could sell anything to anyone just by looking at it. And if you get a sense and say, hey, I think that you are missing out on some potential targets in the social media area. Your social media appearance is not like state of the art. If you have half an hour, and this is what I tell them always said, it doesn't cost you anything. If you have half an hour, it's everything you need to invest. And I will tell you in a video call what I think about your brand and what we could do about it. So, and most of the people then say, yes, why not? Half an hour is not something I'll throw away. I mean, it's like, I don't know, it's just a coffee, time for a coffee. And so I get into talks with them, and sometimes things happen, sometimes things do not happen. But if I have to compare it, word of mouth success is, from our clients, maybe 90% is word of mouth, and 10% is by our own acquisition and going out and talking to people. So if I would say it's like most is word of mouth.
Have you had the same
Yeah,
experience?
for us, it's
Okay.
also mostly word of mouth. Yeah, referrals, either
Mhm.
from clients to other clients or even agencies who have referred us. Yeah, that's been the best. Also, the highest quality clients come that way in our experience as well.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
highest quality leads as well.
Yeah.
So we can totally relate to that. And we also always keep saying in a podcast.
Yeah, we always tell people at the podcast, like, make sure you're getting referred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure people know you're there, like remind them that you're there and stuff like that.
Yeah. Also, a good appearance or like helps as well too. We had this one experience where we won something at a creative award in Austria, and this one brand was, or this one agency was, they had like a campaign going for a client where a guy reads, I think he reads like all the prizes they have and products. This was I think this was the campaign. And then they did an alternation for the awards with the same guy. He read all the agencies with all the awards. So, and then when he arrived at Mama Said No, he had to laugh hard, and he was like, "Oh my God, what a great name!" And people remember that, I think, also. So make yourself easy to remember, by name, by appearance, by shortness of the name, whatever works. So this is something that works.
Can relate to that too.
One thing that we always hear is like, this is always the icebreaker when we meet a client. It's like, we're same. I'm Rebecca. This is also Rebecca. And then it's always like, oh my God, you're both Rebecca. And then they're like, then there's this laughs, like everyone, oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Then like, oh, same. That makes so much sense. Like it's the same conversation every single time.
But I love it. It's like clockwork and I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. It's like, I don't know, it's just so funny that everyone reacts the same way. And I do think that people remember it because of that. It's just like, how can you forget something?
Yeah, or like the Rebeccas, they just put us.
Then
in
they just put us to one thing. And it's an ongoing joke with a client that it's like, I'm not sure which Rebecca I'm writing here, but like, hey Rebecca, like,
Good.
or like we're on
Whoever
a call.
finds this.
Yeah, we're on a call and they're like, I don't know which Rebecca I was talking to on the emails, but we were talking about this, and that. Like it's always this running joke. It's so funny.
Yeah, some people ask us if it's difficult for the client, but I think that they're having a bit of fun with it
I think
too.
it's just a fun thing for them.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that it's also how the mind works of people. They're like, it's for us, it's the same. Sometimes when when we arrive, they're like, the mamas are here, and they're like, I mean, we're not the mamas. I'm Slavko. This is so sometimes I get a little bit angry, like, so we're not the mamas. What's going on? But maybe it's what how the brain works. Maybe it's like for them, I don't know, some entertainment, and then I'm like, okay, hey, let's have your fun, and it's fine, yeah.
Yeah, I think brains do work like that. I think they just think of funny ways to remember things, and for them, that's the way they remember it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How is it?
I don't-
How is it working for you guys with the acquisition? I mean, do you also go by referrals? You said, right?
Yeah, mainly referrals. I mean, right now we're like in a network of like a
Mhm.
corporate client that kind of just refers us within that client's network. They have lots of brands, and we just get referred within that company to the different brands. That's kind of been what's been going on the last couple of years. And other than that, something that did help us a lot was awards, but not the awards in Austria, not those like CCA ones, like not
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
We were also never really interested in that. But there's a website called Awards with three
yeah.
W's, and it's for websites. And a
Yeah.
lot of clients in the US look for inspiration there, and then they also look at who did those websites. And we did get a lot of clients through that,
Yeah, especially in the beginning.
especially in the beginning when we didn't have any network. That's how they found us. So it was more like using an online platform to network our work. The same way you would use Instagram or something like that, but it was just more focused because it was really just about websites. That's
And
kind of
clients know that if you look for represent inspiration, I think that's probably the first thing that comes up, or amongst the first things that come up.
yeah, definitely.
You know?
I heard about this one agency in Germany. I think there was this one list of agencies to contact if you needed an agency, and they renamed themselves because they realized the list is alphabetical, and they renamed themselves and put a special sign like this underline in front of their name to get on top. And this was also like a creative hack of how to get attention. And but I think you did it in a nice way by proving what you were capable of and showing off your creative skills. So nicely done.
Yeah, I think that the beginning it was really portfolio that helped us.
Yeah. And now it's contacts. And
Now it's
network.
network and referrals for sure.
Yeah, it changed a lot.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something about Mamusit now.
Okay.
Because you mentioned employees, can you talk a little bit about your company structure?
Yeah, it's it's something that is like an ongoing experiment. We tried many things. We tried to control as much in-house as we can, by also adding a lot of production capacity, like coders or also film people we had also employed because but we realized where we can make a difference is by owning the core. And the core for us is where we make the difference. This is strategy combined with our creative concept and design. These three areas, and like we have for every of these three areas, we have one person. We have three people in our agency. I'm like more into the strategy part. I do a little bit of copywriting, but I'm trying to get out of it. So, yeah, I'm doing a lot of strategy things. Then we have Lucas, who is like creative conceptor. He's really creative. Yeah. And then we have Kiki, the youngest one, and she's amazing. She's such a talent, and she's in charge of everything like design and art. And I'm trying to give them a lot of freedom in their areas. It's not like that they are employed with me, so I tell them what to do. It's a lot of the others the other way around. It's like they are experts in their areas, so they need to tell me how we're going to do this. And for that, you need to give them like freedom to work. You need to give them time. You need to give them also context. So what I'm also requiring from them is not only to be at the desk, because I think at the desk you can be creative, of course, but the best people are who can put this creativity in their head, from their heads into reality. And for that, you need to be really good at production. I think you need to really know your shit, what you're doing. When you're out shooting a film, you need to know things. You need to have. What I'm requiring from them is that they know how to cut a video, that they know how to do a storyboard, that they know how to guide directors and so on. This is really important. Also to have when I started working in the agency business, I was in Munich in a huge agency. And what I always loved about them is they had an art department, like a media art buying department. So you could go to them and say what kind of illustrator you want to have, what kind of photographer you want to have, and they had like thousands of addresses from all over the world from people. And so this is something that in Austria, especially, or I don't know how the bigger agencies handle it. I don't see this anymore. It's personal contact. So what I'm also encouraging them is to take time and go to Instagram or go to other creative platforms and just to look what other people are doing and to find talents, which they like should categorize. And then if we need it for like an idea, so we have them at hand. And exactly, this is something I need from them. How I'm guiding them, I don't know. I'm guiding them by trying to give them projects they're excited about. So I think this works best because then we work a lot of remote. So I will never control them. Are they online? Are they not online? But we try to like create this culture how we want to work together, and you develop routines. So, for example, we have a group chat, and everyone who enters like the working mode texts there like good morning or hello or good day. So you know, like okay, they're around. We say when we're not around. So this is the only thing we do. But the rest is I don't know. Give them the freedom to do great work. This is like how I try to shape it and lead by culture, by I don't know, by working as hard as they do, by giving them the possibilities, by rewarding them, by taking them to the clients, by forwarding them all the positive feedback we receive. Sometimes also by giving them the direct contact, or most of the time the direct contact to the client, so they're always part of and see what how the reaction is, how they do. And exactly, so this is like our setup base, and then depending on the project, sometimes we do a movie. Then we have like 20 people from the film industry, who usually do I don't know Austrian films or movies or whatever. So we hire them and for like a month for like 2 weeks, and then we finish the movie, and then yeah, they're like freelancers to that. So we check them in for projects, and it's an organizational task. Yeah, it is, but it pays off the best because so that way we are free to suggest clients what you really think is the best creative solution to them. We're not in the urge to sell our resources. Like if you have a coder, so you need to sell coding hours, or if you have a photographer, you need to always sell some photography or something. We don't believe in that, and this is the way how we like set up, and how I think will the I think that the general creative space and industry will move in that direction. A lot of fragmented little studios who will like are specialized in certain things and but collaborate on greater projects. And I think that this is something we're headed in. So we try to anticipate this and yeah. Sorry for the long answer. If I
No,
start
it's
talking, I
perfect.
can't stop. I can't quit.
No, it's really interesting, and I think that's something a lot of people have realized, that people really want experts to be doing the things that they're good at, and that it's very unlikely that one agency can do everything to the quality that the client really needs or that the client also deserves. And I think all these 360 solutions doesn't necessarily mean they're going to get a product that's really the best product that they can get. And the tailored solution is very popular. And I know our clients, the ones we have, they come to us for the development and the web design, but they go to somebody else for the branding and the marketing, somebody else for the social media marketing. They go to a single agency just for newsletter marketing. Like they're very specific about who they work with for each thing. And yeah, I think that the concept makes sense. And it's really interesting too, the way that the company's structured, that everyone kind of has like their little like
Space almost.
space, yeah, that they're responsible for and that they have control over. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that it's important and interesting to give people responsibility because it changes your behavior at all completely.
Yeah,
Um,
100%.
Is
yeah,
it
there are people who are like motivated. I don't know by themselves, but I think that at the base there needs to be some need for responsibility, but also the freedom to make the project their own. So
Yeah, and also
it's
get to make decisions. I think that also makes a big
exactly
difference.
put them in the
Yeah, for
driver's
sure.
seat and don't be a backseat director, like from the back and tell them where to drive. It's just not going to work. People are going to lose their motivation, they're not seeing fulfillment in their jobs. It's just, I don't know. But when I started, it was, I don't know, creative directors were, I don't know, egocentric, people who like, I make you stay all night to just present me 10 more ideas by tomorrow and so things. And it's like, and then they were like this Julius Caesar, with thumbs up or thumbs down, not working anymore. And I was never a fan of that. And this was also a reason why I founded Months and No back then, because I wanted to create an environment for people who believe like in equality, who believe in inclusion, who believe in like in all these fine values, and not just go to work because they're employed. So, and we were like, yeah, Mama said no is like the answer to everything that went wrong when I was employed. Everything.
We had this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
We
same
had similar,
thing.
similar motivations. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Especially you.
Yeah, especially me.
Yeah.
I was also at the agency before, so I can relate to
Okay.
what you're saying. I wanted to ask how it's going for you to have employees, because when we started out, we were alone and we only worked together, and then started adding employees, and that just added another set of responsibilities, of difficulties, and things we couldn't even anticipate. How was that for you?
Yeah, it's scary. It's having employees is like scary. It's I mean, it depends on how you did it, but we had like times when we had 10 employees, and we had times where we were like only 2 people. So we had like a wide range of experiments. But now, yeah, it's difficult sometimes because in Austria you pay a lot of taxes on in things as well. So it's not really cheap. So you really need to be sure who you're going to employee and to employ, and how to feel like how to bring in the money for the costs you. So what we do is we try to like also we started like a year ago. We started like again from zero scratch, the 3 of us. So what we try to do is like to back then we were like running from month to month. It was really hard, and then we like every month we did a little bit more, and now we're in a good situation where like we have like a little buffer, so if projects I don't know fall out, or if you need like if you're in acquisition and need a month more to like close a deal, it's not going to hurt us. So this is really 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 okay and fine. But it's also once you have these costs and you know about them because they are coming in every month. So in Austria, we have this specialty where there is also a 13th salary and a 14th salary on top of that, because in the summer you need an extra salary for like having good vacation during the summer, and in the winter you need like money for the Christmas presents. So the companies have to pay all that. So while I was employed, these were the most favorite times of the year for me. It was like, oh yeah, the 13th salary is coming, so you receive double salary, and if you receive double salary, you can like treat yourself. I don't know, fly to Bali or whatever these things, yeah. And now as an employer, I hate these months. It's like
Same.
it's like every time I'm like, oh my god, it's already this time of year again. So oh man, yeah. Trying to like buffer it by having this buffer, so we can like survive 2-3 months without any projects, and then it's okay and it's fine. But it hurts, of course. All these costs, especially the taxes on the employment in Austria, is just ridiculous.
And health insurance.
Yeah.
And also in health insurance, yes. And health insurance.
The SVS.
The SOS is fun.
Yeah. So we have to air this episode after.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna have to release the German episode after this one.
After the SOS, okay.
Yeah, we talk a lot about SVS and taxes in Austria.
The fun stuff of being employed.
Yeah.
So based on what you just said about, I guess, the current constellation of being 3 people and also getting a lot of help from independent people that you bring on to projects. And you said that the employee situation is kind of still an experiment. So where do you see Mama Said No going in the next 5 years, for example?
What I'm thinking about is like thinking out loud right now. It's not something I have like spent a lot of time thinking about it, like proving it or like really crafting it, but it's just a thought that occurs. I want to bring 100% equality to the agency. So I want at least the two of them to be partners within I don't know, the next months or years, depending on them and how soon they want to take up the responsibility. Because at the end, right now, at the end, it's these are still my costs. So I'm still like I'm carrying the most responsibility. And if you put responsibility on people, you need to do it like in a gentle way. You need to increase it step by step. So what I'm allowing right now is if they want to earn some additional money on the side, next to the employment here, they're free to do it more if they want. So I don't. They didn't do like a lot of these things, but they're allowed to because I want them to experience also how it is to earn their own money by acquiring their own projects. So this is like step by step approach we're doing. And also what I'm trying to do is give them feedback on how much they earning with the projects we're doing right now. So they always know like how much budget the project has as a whole. And I'm trying to tell them because as when I started out in this agency or when I was employed and I was responsible for the new business and I knew what we acquired. I knew the amount. And I was like, my fucking God, this is so much money. I will never have to work again. And then you start paying the bills. And then suddenly this huge amount becomes nothing. You're like, where did the money go? And so I want them to also experience that. And I want them to make wise decisions. I give them a budget for a project, but if you don't spend everything on this one thing, you can like invest in other things or you can like get a bonus because you really you did a great budget planning and something is left, so you will receive this in bonus. So I'm trying to give them like a sense for that, and I would love them to join me, like be part of the company of the agency, and up to a part where we like everyone has a third, of the company of the agency, so we're truly equals. And this would be like interesting for me as well. It will be difficult because you have to let go of the baby. But I would love that. And maybe, or what could, this would be one option. And the other option is that everyone who follows after that receives also a little share of the agency because my dream is to make myself like unnecessary for the agency. I like us to be a network of people looking after each other. And if someone from this network needs like half a year vacation or like a sabbatical, that this person is allowed to do so. There are many creative people I admire who work hard 2 years and then in the third year they take 1 year off. Just to reload the batteries, just to live a little. Because if you start with a project and then follows another project, and then another project, and then you have this one as well. So time passes, and it's also required. Or I would love that at least to have like time to while I'm young to like enjoy it and but still have this business and this network, this agency going on. So this one artist had a really nice idea. He asked why do we need to work until 65 or 70 or whatever it will be until you like get to the pension. So why can't we have all 5 years in our lives, 1 year of the pension already? You know, like you start paying into the pension fund with 20, with 25, you receive your first year of not working, and then you work another 5, and you receive one more. Like this would be some idea that is just really nice, and because the pension system in Austria is not offering us that, we need to find creative ways of doing that. And I think I would love to rely on, I don't know, 5 to 10 people working in the agency as a network and as equals. and everyone is allowed to like take time off, and others look after the agency. This is like the goal.
Yeah, that's a really interesting perspective and really cool. And yeah, I can recommend not doing it alone. As someone who didn't have to do it alone, a lot of the times, I think we both thought like, if I were doing this alone, I would have stopped already, because it's just so much mental load, so much responsibility. Anytime something happens unexpectedly and it's like really stressful, it's nice to have somebody to talk to and to know like you're not alone. So I can totally get not wanting to do it alone forever.
I would have quit already. I'm saying this in a lot of episodes, but doing this alone, I think in the first year probably I would have been like, no, I've had enough of this. It's just really difficult to get a company off the ground in Austria, first of all. And second of all, it's really difficult to manage clients, to execute the work, to do the business stuff, everything alone. It's
to do 10 jobs all the time.
Yeah, that's too much. You have to give up responsibilities. Totally see your vision there.
But I have to say that both of them are already like behaving as if they're partners. I am also.
That's really great. I think it's rare to find people like that, and that's really amazing. And it would definitely, if they're already doing that work, then it makes sense to also officially give them that title.
For sure. There is always one last question.
Yeah, one final question to end this episode.
Yeah, it's already an hour almost.
I feel like we haven't even been talking that long. Like,
there's so many questions that were left unanswered that I wrote down, but still the conversation took such an interesting turn. I didn't want to steer it into a different direction. So I left them out, but kind of sad.
Yeah, maybe we need to do a part 2. But anyway, so the question we always ask people is, if you could go back in time and tell your past self something about, like, whether it's advice or just something to make them feel motivated about being self-employed and about the future, what would you tell them?
That's a really interesting one. And I think there are a couple of things I would tell, like to someone younger or to my younger self. And first of all, I think it's something that a lot of people would tell themselves. It's like, don't take shit. Right? This is the first thing. People do not know better. They just have a different view on things. So this is like one thing. Then the most important breakthrough I had in how I encounter life and how I live was, life comes from you. It doesn't come at you. So you steer your life, and the way you behave and the way you like manage things and manage responsibility and talk to people and build the relationships. This is how you create your life. And if you're not satisfied with it, you have to change it, or you have to change yourself and accept help also on the way, because people, they're not mean. So if you find good people, stick to them and let them help you also. But I think most definitely is the recognition that life doesn't come at you. It comes from you, and how you behave and how you encounter it. And this is like how you build your life. So
that's such a good perspective.
Yes, that's, like almost teared up.
Yeah, me too. Like, we've got super philosophical right now.
But like it's so true. Thank you so much. And thank you for being here today and talking to us and sharing more. You had such insightful things to say, and I think it's going to be really valuable for our audience.
It was really blessed, and I enjoyed it talking to you. Also, the first time we talked personally, it was such a, like, I went out of discussion in the talk like with inspired and like with a full heart. So, and it's the same now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Never Went to Business School. Don't forget to follow us here on Spotify. And if you enjoy our content, check out our YouTube channel for more educational videos and subscribe to our newsletter on Substack.